everyone, and welcome back. This will be one of the last two videos. I know it's been a while and I do apologize. Life has taken a few turns, but I wanted to finish up these last two videos on the Sigil Precept. Today we're going to be working on each layer separately, so it'll be a little bit of a longer video, and I hope that you stay for the course. So if you have the book, get it out. If you have the workbook, please get it out. If not, make sure you have pen and paper ready so that we can go ahead and discuss and review as we work on each area separately, which will also be a timeline for you. I'm breaking each separate area down into weeks, months, so that it's easier should you decide to work on it as a whole. Remember, you can still work through the Sigil Precept at any given time, picking it up, going to the section that you need to. Remember, this is all about your growth. I'm simply putting this into this format so that if you want to do it this way, you're more than welcome to. But again, this is your growth. This is your time. So please, get yourself comfortable and make sure you have paper and pen. And always remember that you can find this video on YouTube at any given time. It will not go away as we continue further. Blessings. Hello and welcome. We are going to be breaking these down, and it's going to go by, each layer will be a year, and then each layer aspect will be within weeks. Okay? So as you can see by the picture that I posted, we're going to be working with layer 1, the 4 cycles, which are birth, life, death, rebirth. So birth is going to be our first one, and we're going to be working with this month 1 through 3. So within that first month, week 1 to 3 is going to be all about your mental aspect. Weeks 4 through 6 is your emotional. Okay. Week 7 through 9 is your spiritual. Week 10 through 12 is your physical. Now I'm offering this way so that you can break it down per week over a course of a year if you want to work on one aspect, or if you want to work on all, it can be 5 years total. It's all up to you. Or you can simply flip the book to wherever you want and work on that aspect too. But I wanted to put this in here just as in case someone wishes to be diligently working on this, to give them a better format. Month 4 through 6 is going to be life. Weeks 1 through 3 is your present life. Week 4 through 6 is going to be what is your role in present life. Week 7 through 9 is going to be your inner relationships, which is your inner family. Remember, this is you, your spouse, your partner, your children. That's your inner family. Okay? Week 10 through 12 is your outer relationships, your outer family, your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews. That's all your outer family. Okay? Month 7 through 9, we're going to be working with death. Week 1 through 3 is present and future assessment of your current life. Week 4 through 6, examining the quality of your current life. Remember, quality versus quantity is different. Quality of life versus quantity. Keep that in mind. Go back through the book, read what we had discussed with quality and quantity, okay? Week 7 through 9 is about the quantity of your current life, okay? Week 10 through 12 is improving the quality of your life that you have right now, okay? Month 10 through 12, we're going to be talking about rebirth. With weeks 1 through 3, the lessons that are needed to still be learned by you right here, right now in your present life. Weeks 4 through 6, lessons that we feel we teach or have taught to others, that we're currently teaching or that we have taught to self and others. Weeks 7 through 9, working on any unfinished business that you have, any unfinished lessons in life that you have. Weeks 10 through 12 is our micro rebirths and how we celebrate them. you can go through your workbook and do the same. And again, the book or the workbook or just any of the videos will also help you. Okay? The next one will be layer 2. Layer 2 is all about the 4 phases of the moon: new, waxing, full, and waning. Again, broken down to months over a course of a year, and then each within those months is one aspect they're going to be working with, broken down into weeks. Month 1 through 3 is about the new year, part of the year, the new part of the moon. So weeks 1 through 3 reflect on what that newness of that new moon and that energy of that new moon brings to you and what it means to you. Week 4 through 6, listing any new aspects, ideas, anything that you wish to bring into your life that's new. Okay? And keep in mind, anytime we bring in something new, something that is no longer needed in our lives will fall away. And that's okay. We have to do that in order to make room for the newness. It's a natural process. Week 7 through 9, continuously working on these new aspects, these new ideas, this newness. And week 10 through 12, planting the seeds of newness for the future. Month 4 through 6 is about the waxing phase. We started with the new. We're starting to get larger in the waxing, which is heading to the full moon, so things are starting to move along. So month 4 through 6 is all about waxing. Week 1 through 3 is reflection on what increase means to you, the newness, these new ideas, these new energies. Week 4 through 6, what you wish to positively increase, really focusing. Week 7 through 9, giving way to attaining any new knowledge. What have you learned during this phase? What have you learned during the newness phase? About yourself, about others, about your belief systems, about your personality, about who you are. Week 10 through 12 is growing those seeds that have begun planted in that new aspect, and you're starting to tend that garden, which is you. You're a beautiful garden, and you need just as much love and care and attention. Month 7 through 9 is about the full moon. Things have now bloomed. It's now time to see what you have done and all the hard work. It's all within front of you now. This beautiful garden that is yourself has fully bloomed. So week 1 through 3, reflection on what fulfillment means to you. What is it you have fulfilled? Week 4 through 6, list the commitments that you're fulfilling. What is it that you've committed to yourself? What is it you've committed to others? Your commitments. Week 7 through 9 is harvesting that new increased newness in your life. You're starting to harvest, starting to pluck those flowers and hold them close and patting yourself on the back and giving yourself a yay. Because you know what? You've done amazing, amazing work, and you should. Week 10 through 12 during the fall is rest and plan for that next cycle. We can continue this new waxing, full, waning cycle throughout our entire lives with simple little things that we want to bring in. Month 10 through 12 is waning. Weeks 1 through 3, reflection on what decrease means to you. Remember, I told you earlier, when we bring something in, when we increase something into our lives, something else leaves. It's decreasing. It could be a thought form. It could be an idea. It could be anything. What does decrease mean to you? Week 4 through 6, list what you feel is holding you back. Is it a person? Is it a thing? Is it a thought? Is it what? Is there something that you feel may be holding you back? Deep dive. Week 7 through 9, work diligently on releasing and decreasing any negativity in your life, whether it's, a different thought form that you want to bring in, and decreasing that negativity. What is it that you want to sit in happily? Remember, you're a garden. Sometimes we have to have manure, and that's okay, but we don't need so much manure that it burns our soil and kills our flowers. Because you, my dear, wonderful people, deserve to be happy and deserve to have those flowers. You are a beautiful flower. Week 10 through 12, make plans, what you're going to plant for the new cycle. So layer 2, like I said, is all about that moon phase, and looking up and seeing that moon helps as well. Hold on for the next one, layer 3, coming up. Layer 3 is the 4 cycles of the seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Again, broken down to months, each section, and then weeks within those sections, okay? So month 1 through 3 is spring, with weeks 1 through 3. Reflection on what spring means to you. What is the newness of spring? How does spring make you feel? What type of ideas, what type of creativity does it bring into you? Weeks 4 through 6 is bringing spring into your life. What you see out there in spring, how do you bring that in? How are you going to bring that in? Weeks 7 through 9, refreshing your life. Spring's all about refreshing. Always about refreshing what's in our lives. We are such an amazing thing that we can refresh at any given time. So what type of refreshing moments are you going to bring? What type of refreshing thought forms, ideas? How are you going to bring the freshness that is spring into your life? And week 10 through 12 is about celebrating. For me, spring is about celebrating newness, celebrating how the world just woke up and tossed off the blanket of winter and is stretching, and she's young and she's free. She smells amazing. She's, the trees are budding. I start seeing birds, and it's like, it's amazing. Month 4 through 6 is summer, and weeks 1 through 3 is about reflection on what summer means to you. Week 4 through 6 is bringing summer into your life. Week 7 through 9, lighting those inner summer fires of your life. And weeks 10 through 12 is celebrations and holidays of the summer. For me, summer is warmth. It's feeling the beams of sun warming me, walking outside. And yes, it can be very hot in Michigan here, but having that summer, just the breeze, the rustling, and seeing the birds and seeing the animals and seeing the green grass. And my celebrations for summer is literally bonfires and cookouts and making memories. That's how I bring summer in. Month 7 through 9 is autumn, fall. Weeks 1 through 3, what does fall mean to you? Weeks 4 through 6, bringing autumn into your life. Weeks 7 through 9, giving thanks for what we have. And week 10 through 12, holidays and celebrations. Autumn is amazing. There's such a kaleidoscope of colors out there and smells. And I don't know about you, but my favorite thing about autumn, fall, is the colors. The amazing colors that nature gives us in the trees. But yet knowing those trees, they may change their leaves color, may drop their leaves, but they're going to come back. And I get to see them year after year after year. And the smells. I absolutely love walking in the forest in fall and hearing the crunching of the leaves underneath of me, and seeing the path covered with this myriad of beauty and color, and watching the squirrels scamper and knowing that they're getting ready for winter, and the smells of the fall leaves, and having a warm cup of tea or coffee or cider and pumpkins, and so much to love about fall. Winter is month 10 through 12. Week 1 through 3, reflections on what winter means to you. Week 4 through 6 is bringing winter into your life. Week 7 through 9, working on the introspection that comes with winter. And 10 through 12, holidays and celebrations. Winter, for me, it can be a very tough time. I'm going to be honest with you. I have anxiety, I have depression, and it does kick up quite a bit in the winter. And over the years, the best way I've dealt with that is trying to look at winter as a time of rest, of relaxation, of, letting go. Try to change my perspective. Like, yes, it's dreary out there. It's cold out there. It's icy out there. but try to change my aspect. Like, okay, I know that winter will last a few months. In that time frame, what do I want to do? I do tend to stay inside a lot. I don't go out and play in the snow as much as I should. I do still do my looking at the sun and sunsets, sunrises and sunsets, but I don't go out and play in the snow. It's too much for me. It just cold does not work for me. But I still have those aspects. I love to cuddle in a nice, comfortable, warm blanket. Sometimes I spend a day in my pajamas and my warm, big, fluffy socks and my big, oversized, fluffy robe, and I'll have a cup of tea or coffee or something and look outside and look how beautiful that snow is and how it sparkles like diamonds. I change my perspective as much as I can. Knowing that the earth is just covered right now. She's taking her time. She's taking her long nap so that she can come back renewed. And I try to bring that in to myself as now. What is it that I want to renew? What is it that I want to just and take a break from, or take a deep breath and okay, and yes, it's hard. Winter is so hard on so many people. It breaks my heart. But me personally trying to change that perspective, and I'm not saying it works all the time because it doesn't. We're human, but try to change my perspective a little bit on that. That's what I try to bring in winter. Okay. Next layer will be layer 4, so stay tuned. Layer 4, the 4 stages of life: maiden or warrior, mother or king, crone or sage, and then self. Okay? Again, broken down into months for each section, and then months into weeks. So our maiden / warrior is month 1 through 3. So week 1, what is the maiden or warrior? What does that mean to you? Weeks 5 through 8, how to honor these aspects within us. And week 9 through 12, celebrating those aspects. Months 4 through 6 is the Mother King. Weeks 1 through 4 is what's the Mother King mean to you. Weeks 5 through 8, honoring those same aspects within you. And then week 9 through 12 is celebrating. Month 7 through 9 is the crone sage. 1 through 4, for the first 4 weeks, what is the Mother King to you? Weeks 5 through 8, how to honor those aspects. And weeks 9 through 12, celebrating. Months 10 through 12 is self. Welcome back and welcome to layer 5. Now please be aware, yes, I know there is a misprint in this book. However, I'm going to tell you, and if you have the workbook, it is correct in the workbook, but it is not correct in the actual book. So please do pay attention to this one, and because I'll tell you the correct way. And I never noticed this, and I do apologize. So layer 5 is the 4 states of being, okay? So you have your mental, your spiritual, your sensual, which is also considered your emotional, and then you have your physical, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go through again month for 3 months worth, and then each one is going to be 4 weeks worth, okay? So month 1 through 3 is going to be mental. This is your east. This is air, and this is all about the observe, okay? So weeks 1 through 4, what is it you're wishing to learn? Remember, mental is our mental capacity, what we want to learn. It could be something new. It could be something different that we want to change. It's all about that mental, and we're observing so that we can learn, okay? So what does the mental mean to you? And what are you wishing to learn within week 1 to 4? Weeks 5 through 8, what life challenges are you wishing to overcome? How do you want to find balance within mental? Okay. Weeks 9 through 12, celebrating what you learned, what you are learning in that mental aspect. And how do you continue with that balance and that mental? Okay. Months 4 through 6 is spiritual. It's your self. It's your fire. It's your how you understand. Okay. And months 4 through 6, all just spiritual. Weeks 1 through 4. What do you feel is lacking in your life? And what does spiritual mean to you? Okay. Weeks 5 through 8. How do you connect to your values and your actions? How do you find a balance with your spiritual? Weeks 9 through 12 is celebrating and how to continue that balance that you found through those weeks of working with just spiritual. Month 7 through 8 is the sensual or the emotional aspect. This is our west, this is our water, and this is where our feel is, okay? Weeks 1 through 4, what does sensual or emotional mean to you? What is it that gives you knowledge to feel that? What is it? Okay. Weeks 5 through 8 is how do you face and overcome challenges? And how do you find a balance for that? Weeks 9 through 12 is celebrating and continuing that balance. Okay. Months 10 through 12 will actually be your physical, which is your north, your earth, your breathing aspect, your breath. Okay. Weeks 1 through 4, what gives you quality in life? What does the physical state mean to you? Weeks 5 through 8, how do you recognize your course in life? How do you find a balance? Weeks 9 through 12 is celebrating and continuing that balance. Now, with these 4 states of being, it's very difficult to try and keep on that course. It is. We're human. We try so hard to keep on a course of balancing all these aspects. Sometimes we lack in one aspect and it takes up residence in another one. For instance, me. When I know that I'm off course with mental, sensual / emotional or spiritual, I feel it in my physical. It comes up in my physical aspect, my physical state. For me, it's I got bags under my eyes, my skin's dry, I'm losing weight or gaining a lot of weight. Usually it's gaining. I hurt, my body hurts, I get swollen, things like that. I just feel off, I get sick, literally get ill. When one of those aspects are off, it comes into my physical. When I'm too much in the mental, okay, if I'm not finding balance on my mental because of my anxiety, my depression, and everything else, which is mental, I literally have like a little wheel going all the time. So if there's a mental issue going on, usually it comes up in the physical with me as headaches. I can't concentrate. I feel confused. I'm not there. When it hits my sensual or my emotional state, I'm grouchy. I'm nitpicky. I, get very defensive when something is off. So I see that in my physical. And then when that physical hits and when that emotional is off and it hits my physical, I feel hateful to myself even. Okay? And I start putting myself down. I start looking at my physical flaws, which just perpetuates that cycle. When I'm off in the spiritual aspect, I feel lethargic. I feel no connection to the divine. I feel no connection to nature. I feel no connection to people at all. And that shows up in that physical as me sitting there just, And usually what happens with me, at least, it hits on my mental, then it hits on my emotional, and then it hits on my spiritual, and it shows up everything in my physical. So I try to find as much balance as I can, but we're not perfect. I'm not perfect, by far not perfect. But when I feel that physical issue coming, I try to take stock. I try to step back and be mindful and go, okay, where is this coming from? And it's almost like my own vocabulary for my own body. You know, if something's going on with my physical, there's something definitely going on with one of those others. So you can try and use that if that helps, but try and take stock, okay? So this is the end of this aspect. With this, in the next video, we'll be putting it all together and working with the sigil as a whole. But for this, as I said before, I made this as a way for each of you to try to if you wanted to do this in more like a classroom type format, something that's more direct, or like I said, do whatever it is you wish. You can open it up to any aspect you want, work on that aspect. Your journey is your journey, okay? I can only give you opinions or thoughts or ideas. How you go about it is your journey, and it's so sacred to you, and it should be. I'm just hoping that by putting it in this format, it might help. But I hope the whole entire format has helped you. And as always, remember, you are wanted, you are needed in this world, you are phenomenal. You are, without a doubt, a beautiful, beautiful garden. You have a wonderful soul. And I thank you, and I'm so happy to be a part of your life, even for a small moment. Remember, just continue smiling, knowing that you are amazing. And we'll see you in the next video. Many blessings.